Mike's Daily Podcast.
Here we are at Café Anyway. Oh, no. Why do you put pens right there at Café Anyway somewhere in Podcastro Valley Mont?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That's what we call setting up mic or failure. Now I'm having trouble with my microphone. It's tailored for my face and my mouth, and it's falling all over. It's a different microphone, and I'm having problems with it, but I own my mistakes. Knocking over someone's pens. How many colored pens do you need?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
They're all different colors. I don't know what's happening here. Maybe it's a Madame Rootabega thing. She does a lot of
Mike's
things.
Daily
Touching up things.
Podcast.
Cleaning up things.
Yeah!
Here at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley Mont, the last place on Earth. And it is episode 2717, 2717, I think is how you say that. I'm happy to be here today. I don't know about you. Well, you must be because you're listening, so thank you. Taika Waititi. That's that guy. Very funny man. Been in that vampire movie or TV show and other things. He directed the movie Thor. The Marvel Universe, of course. Thor, it was the... What was it called? Ragnarok or something. Was that it? He never had a direct... He thought he would never direct a Marvel movie. That was never on his bucket list. This, according to Rolling Stone, via MSN. During an appearance on a new episode of the Smart List podcast, I have not checked that out, but hey, I'll plug them if they plug me. I need all the help I can get. The director revealed that his decision to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe and helm the Thor Ragnarok movie in 2017 was strictly a financial one.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Oh, it's of me, because you probably want to know, hey, what does that Mike Matthews look like since he doesn't do the videos and whatnot? Yes. Back in the day when I first started podcasting, this podcast 2,717 episodes ago, I thought there's no need to put cameras here at Café Anyway. Put them in to show me talking to people on a podcast. What would the point of that be? But apparently that's a thing. They probably video this podcast I just mentioned. Especially when I understand when you have celebrities come in. Well, this guy's a celebrity. The late great Basil the Boxer. What a wonderful dog. We went to great places. Like this is over here at the Tamales Bay. I don't know if Basil quite made it. No, he almost made it to Tamales Bay. We were just maybe within a mile of it. But this is a nice little spot I went to recently. And we were looking for this one restaurant. And we thought this was it. And we sat down and I go, I don't think this is the right place. And that Talking Head song was in my head. This must be the place. But it was not the place. This must not be the place. So we ended up having to drive a little bit further, and we found the place, and it ended up being a lousy place, so we didn't stay there either. And then we kept driving, and we found another place that was, so nice. The food servers were so cool, and the view was so amazing. I posted a couple podcast pictures of those. You can see those, by the way, at MikesDailyPodcast.com. I mention it because I pay for it.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Waititi said while he was familiar with Thor, it didn't mean he was a fan. He says, and Thor, let's face it was probably the least popular franchise. I never read Thor comics as a kid. That was the comic I'd pick up and be like, ugh. And then I did some research on it, and I read one Thor comic, or 18 pages, or however long they are. I was still baffled by this character.
Note to self.
But it's funny because, was it Chris Hemsworth that played Thor? He is Australian, and Thor's supposed to be Norwegian, and I think Taika Waititi's from New Zealand, so he's closer to the actual Thor the guy that played Thor, than Thor. But Marvel was hungry for a reinvention of the Thor franchise after the film's slow-moving 2013 sequel, The Dark World. I didn't even see that. Oh, that had Christopher Eccleston, one of the Doctor Who's in it. Do you know I'm wearing a Doctor Who shirt?
Mike Matthews? You not know Mike Matthews.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Eminem.
We got Eminem.
From a non-linear, subjective viewpoint, it's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. That is from the episode of Doctor Who where David Tennant...
Now that's legit.
Was it Marcia? Was in the one where with the woman who is married to Mumford & Sons guy. That lady. So it's called blank. There, that's all my Doctor Who knowledge for you that's relevant at this point. Although now I kind of understand what happened in the new episode that debuted on Saturday. And I think I'm up to date with the new David Tennant, Donna Noble thing.
The Pam Baumgartner Files.
He said, I thought, well, they called me.
You ready?
And said, Taika Waititi, this is really the bottom of the barrel. I think there was no place left for them to go with that. So despite his hesitations, Thor Ragnarok proved a success, earning $853 million at the worldwide box office. But Waititi recently told Business Insider that he will likely not return to direct another film for the franchise due to his hectic schedule.
The Wow, That's Wild Files.
He also discussed directing NBC's Brother of Man, its advertisement for the 2012 Super Bowl, and recalled former President Donald Trump's rather unique requirements for filming Brotherhood of Man. I directed Trumpy, he says. There was a piece of paper with a list of demands. The height of the camera had to be a certain height to make him look a little thinner.
I can't believe.
See?
What the hell is this place anyway?
This is stuff that I should remember whenever I put a camera on myself. Oh, I guess I did put a camera on myself in the latest podcast picture. As we go outside a Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley-Mont, the last place on Earth.
Anyway.
So according to Town Hall News, Business Insider, who we were just mentioning in that previous story, is facing heat after running a piece trying to normalize the potential death
Burgermaster
of Donald Trump. The article went through several hypothetical plots that could occur depending on whether Trump's death occurred before the primary, during the primary, or between the primary and the general election. Trump, who is 77, is 4 years younger than Joe Biden.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Who's just turned 81. Business Insider says if Trump died during primary season, which ends in mid-June, some states may postpone their scheduled primaries. If Trump died after the last primary contest, but before the Republican National Convention, the other GOP presidential candidates would have to make a case to every state delegation at the convention for why they should be the party's nominee. And if Trump secured the GOP nomination, but died between the convention and Election Day 2024, the Republican National Convention would convene to select another presidential candidate.
It's Bison Bentley's. Do you know that?
Hey, this is Bison Bentley, and Mike Matthews has a couple of stories that'll make you want to ask yourself, do you know that?
Posted that New York's finest continue to bolt from the job at an alarming rate. Some cops worry the exodus will only get worse because the city plans to cancel the next 5 police academy classes, shrinking the nation's largest police force to the smallest it's been in decades. A total of 2,516 NYPD cops have left so far this year, the 4th highest number in the past decade, and almost, it says 43% more than the 1,750 who hightailed it in 2018 before the pandemic and crime spikes hit the city. This according to NYPD pension data. The number of cops quitting before they reach the 20 years required to receive their full pensions also skyrocketed from 509 in 2020 to 1,040 so far this year. That's amazing to me. That's an alarming 104% increase. They didn't want their pension. Is the pension good? Have they reduced the pension like they've done so many other places? It's amazing the quit culture going on in things like this. And then the Congress, we heard about the House of Representatives, a lot of people and senators not going to be running for their next elections. They're going to say this is my last one. The years of departures and lack of replacements are now taking a toll, forcing cops who remain on the job to work inhumane amounts of forced overtime. This according to Police Benevolent Association President Patrick Henry. That's my big worry. It seems like here in the Bay Area there's not as many cops as there should be. There should be more. People drive horrible, break laws constantly, fly through red lights constantly, do crazy things. It's amazing not more people get hurt.
Good morning, Mr. Matthews.
Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. Look who is here with us now.
Hello, Michael Myers. It's Madame Rootabega. How do you like all of the pens that I put in the cafe? Ooh.
Yes, I'm not sure why you did all that, but I guess thank you. A thank you's in order. Do you like to write?
Yes.
You like many colors in your pens? Different colored pen ink?
Yes.
Did you listen to the last podcast?
No.
Oh. Well, it was cool because I got a little bit of audio on there from one of the radio stations I worked at 30 years ago, so that was interesting. Look who else is here. Hello, Dave Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And it's Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we was hoping that you could explain to us the latest season of Professor T.
Yeah, Professor T. Do you know that?
Yeah, not Mr. T. I pity the fool. It is Professor T. As in Professor Tempest. Is that Mr. T? What T stands for? Mr. T? No.
Try to game me. No. It ain't gonna work.
Oh my God, man. Jeez.
But it's an actor named Ben Miller. He was on the BBC produced show called Death in Paradise. He's a great actor. He plays the uptight British Sherlock Holmes type guy really well. And he's a teacher of criminology at Cambridge in this show. And he gets recruited by one of his ex-students to actually work and help for the police department of Cambridge and help out some of the crimes that happen. And you're dealing with... So Professor T's got all these OCD issues, and he's dealing with some trauma from his past as a child. And his mom is crazy. Actually, the actress was in Harry Potter. I think she played one of the teachers. But she's amazing. She's got a little chihuahua. Or maybe it's a Pomeranian, I think. It's one of the... And then there's the cops on the force that have to deal with his craziness. And, I'm enjoying it. It's only 2 seasons. It came to the U.S. through PBS Masterpiece, so you can watch that if you get that extension on Amazon Prime. But my lovely lady friend and I are really enjoying it. And I think we're almost done. It's like basically only 12 episodes, so... then we'll have to find something else. Maybe we'll finally have to watch one of those shows people tell us you need to watch. You haven't seen it yet? You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. And I have no interest, but maybe we'll rewatch all the old Thors. Not sure. What do you suggest I watch? You can tell me here by calling this phone number, which nobody ever calls.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with more ways to reach me, I got my flu and my Moderna COVID shot today. They told me I couldn't get them both in the same arm. That is different from the last time that I got the shot a year ago, where they said they could put them both in the same arm. They have to do it in different ones. And I'm feeling fine. Sorry, my head just hit the microphone because I passed out. But that's okay. I'm just processing a bunch of chemicals in my body. And with more ways to reach me, it's A-Fun.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!